The BC Lions, as I recall, as usual, nowadays, but they certainly expect Todd to be in control of this one tonight.
The Wolfpack kick off with a Bavaro here, back to his keeper Jackson Gardner, not James. Jackson Gardner with the ball here, looking for a teammate. Has to go long here to Dylan Hooper, I believe. Nope, Dylan Hooper is the one who was chasing after the ball. That was rather Rosen. Apologize for that mistake.
Well, as usual, I'm sure the first 10-15 minutes of the game will be the two teams basically feeling each other out and trying to find some holes here and there that they think they can exploit. And with a little bit of determination, we will certainly, I think, see the results of those efforts as we move along this evening, because, as I say, we need goals, particularly UFV need goals. They certainly need to score more than TRU.
And I can sense huge goals here in this game.
So it just starts the second
really good
period.
opponents here at Hillside Stadium.
Big two on the throw and
Jonathan, you mentioned James Fraser. He's certainly the big goal scorer for TRU. He's the lone fifth-year player on the squad. The forward from Penticton, he's third in Wolfpack history in Canada West goals, 18, and fourth in points, 26. So Fraser just sits 2 points away from vaulting up the Wolfpack record books. His 28 points has him just behind Justin Donaldson, one of the assistant coaches of the TRU team this year, and Ryan Glanville, who's got 28. So we're going to see Fraser being honoured at tomorrow night's game, this being his last season of eligibility. So we look forward to that.
Yeah, James Fraser has been a great servant to this men's team here. 5 years on the team as a striker, sometimes playing the wing when Ryan Glanville was around. Brilliant player, James Fraser, but he doesn't appear to be starting this evening. This evening, Coach Antelov gave a nod to George Lamar to play as strike, so let's see if he can fill those big shoes of James Fraser.
I'm not sure, Jonathan. We should have checked this, of course, before the game, but I think Fraser might be under suspension, which may eliminate him from tonight's contest. But that's not official. Very little tonight when the game is so important to both teams.
Here's actually for TRU. Opts to go long for Rosalind here. Ball almost went out of play, but great save by Rosalind. And the ball is with the Cascades here in the midfield. Here's their captain, Ryan Donald. Really intercepted by TRU. Ball was it? Ended up at the feet of Izzet, and now TRU have it back with Rosalind. Tries to play to George Lamar, who tries to have a touch and give it to the running Dylan Hooper.
Well, Patrick Izzet, I'm glad to see him in the lineup again tonight. I thought he was very impressive in the two games against Trinity Western, particularly his set pieces and crosses from deep into the box, where he had a lot of success, and really it was unusual not to see more goals result from those great crosses he was putting in.
I agree. It was one of the standout performances from the last game, with his energy and eye for a good pass. And again, here comes Cascades with Ryan Donald. It's for his teammate in number 13, Randy.
I should point out that after, because of course I'll be playing here again tomorrow, the Wolfpack will have 2 games remaining after the weekend against UFA. They travel to Prince George in their last 2 matches to face UNBC. How TRU fits into the playoff picture.
Etches here with a free kick, aims for Lamont. He's unable to win it. Here's Daniel Segna after brilliantly defended by Jan-Pierre de Glasmacher. Referee blows a whistle for Marco Faro. It's a free kick to the Wolfpack.
Quickly taken the kick there, perhaps a little hasty because it goes straight to UFE, and obviously we don't want to see a lot of that tonight from TLU.
The Cascade go all the way back and look to start again. Brilliant marking here by Patrick Izzet, giving no room to the defense to make a pass here. Here's Ryan Donald for the Cascades. Gives it back to his teammate Tobias Speaks. Now it ends up by the keeper. I believe this game was Jackson Cox. Cascades here with the ball in the midfield. But yeah, brilliant pressing there by Dylan Cooper. Cascade look long, but handled by Jan Gerdes to his keeper. Back to his keeper, Jackson Gardner. Goes long, Jackson Gardner looking for Dylan Cooper, who controls it beautifully with his chest. Finds his teammate Rosalind. Finds Marco Fabaro here in the midfield. Finds Daniel Segno here down the right hand side. Release here with number 22, Ryan Lewis. Ryan Lewis loses the ball to Trevor Zanata. And a foul is called on Junior Ajakum.
Well, I see TRU have got Rosenland playing sort of in a left-back position tonight. I think as they more or less did in the last of the two games against Trinity Western. And we know what he's capable of, and I would imagine that Coach Antelov has suggested that he can get a little bit of free rein to move up on that left side. As we see him now, he's starting to move up a little bit on the left side there. But in the last couple of matches, he was quite useful also in getting crosses into the box.
Brilliant deliveries, if I may add, from last game by Rosalind. And here's Daniel Segno. Throws the ball in, looking for Lamar, but is brilliantly defended by the Cascades.
Nice ball there by Daniel. That could have been dangerous, and obviously I think again Coach Antelope has 14 of those, while Patrick is, as we've mentioned, also has 12 with just 4 games played. So certainly Fraser is a key figure in the TLU attack, and if indeed he is not going to be playing tonight, that's something that they will miss very, very much.
Foul there by Daniel Segno on the Cascades. Taken by David Parfait. Brilliant delivery inside, but it's dealt with by Daniel Segno. Foul call there on George Lamont, who wins the free kick for Trinity. TRU. Sorry, I apologize for that. Still thinking about last week's game. Junior Ajakum looking to advance, but
again we look for Izzet to do his normal first-class job of dropping the ball right on the penalty spot.
he floats one in, and it's well dealt by Cascade over here. TRU looks to restart with Daniel Segno. Daniel Segno looking to go long, but it hits Cascade player in the back. Yes, is it on the ball again? This is to Marco Fabaro, plays it to Daniel Segno. Looks for George Lamont, brilliantly controlled. Here goes Ryan Lewis, finds Junior Ajakum, uses his body brilliantly. but ends up losing the ball and wins it back, but it's called a foul by the referee.
Accumulated 3 yellow cards in previous games, and as a consequence, has to miss one.
It's a big miss for our TRU over there. But he'll be back tomorrow if I'm correct.
That should be the case.
Here's a keeper for Cascades, Jackson Cox. Same first name as the TRE goalkeeper, Jackson Gardner, who had the ball in his gloves as I speak. As you can hear, a chant of "Let's Go Wolfpack" by the audience here at Hillside Stadium.
And what a pleasant sound that is.
Definitely.
Most people will know, I'm sure, we've been missing the fan support that you get at these home games. And as one of my old coaches used to say, you know, if you get a good crowd out supporting you, they can almost act as a 12th man.
Thrown by Rosalind towards George Lamar. Another thrown by TIE, taken by Rosalind. And ball goes out of play for Cascades throw. Patrick is in possession of the ball here. Finds Lamar. Good 1-2 play by Izzet and Lamar. Izzet finds Ryan Lewis here down the right hand flank. Ryan Lewis looking for option, looking to take on a player. But finds his teammate Daniel Segno. Here goes Segno with a tricky feed again. Looks for Lewis again, but the ball's just out of his reach. And it's a throw in for the Cascades. Brilliant piece of play there by Izzet. And Lamar would have give and go over there.
Neither team backing down, Jonathan. They're both game for a fight tonight, and I think we'll probably see this action quite a lot throughout the game, where there's a bit of an aggressive streak on both teams.
Yeah, it's a bit of back and forth right now by both teams. And a brilliant play there by Dylan Hooper. Gets past 1 challenge, 2 challenge, 3 challenge.
Looks like the ball was out.
Yeah, that was a brilliant piece of
Hey
play.
alumni, are you missing out? Check out the TRU Alumni and Friends website at tru.ca/alumni for events, contests, and more.
Joy here. It's brilliantly defended there by Glassmacher. And Daniel Segno with a tricky feed again. Finds Patrick Izzet. Daniel Segno continues his run and receives the ball by Izzet. But the ball gets caught on his feet and it's out for Cascades throwing. Cascades are throwing, challenged by Junior Jacob, but the ref calls a foul on him.
At Hillside Stadium, those two teams will play again tomorrow night at a 7 o'clock kickoff, and they will be following the women's team, who are also playing UFC 2 games this weekend, having lost the first tonight earlier by a score of 3-0.
It's a free kick here to the Wolfpack, which is taken by Etches. Now the ball is at the feet of Jackson Gardner. Lamar plays it back to Magical. And Glassmacher looks long, tries to find Ryan Lewis, but it's overhit and ends up in the gloves of Jackson Cox.
UFE got away with it that time, but I'd certainly like to see the midfielders, the 3 midfielders, come back towards the back line when they've got possession of the ball. that creates a huge gap, and any errant pass by one of the back four into the middle could be a dangerous situation for TRU. But just a little quicker coming back to receive the ball, I think, and creating space for someone to give them the ball would be a good thing.
Looking to be a long throw in here by number 11, June 1 Troy for the Cascades, which she does, brilliantly defended by Rosalind. And Patrick Izzet hoofs it up, headed away by captain of the Cascades there, number 2, Ryan Donald.
Done by Gardner there to keep the ball in play and keep possession.
I thought it was going to be a handball there, but it looked as if Rosalind played the ball back to him, but that was not the case. Brilliant distribution there by Kim Gardner. Here a bit of voices coming from the stands.
Another tough challenge by UFE there, and again taking their prisoners, and you don't expect them to for most of the game.
Defending again by Daniel Side, who just playing the ball there. Back to his goalkeeper Jackson Gardner, who plays it back to the defender Etches. Both teams are playing at a very good tempo here at Hillside Stadium, Keith.
So far, yeah, it's off to a good start, and both teams actually moving the ball quickly, and when they lose it, they're trying to get it back quickly, so it's a good sign for both teams.
Yeah, brilliant end-to-end action here at Hillside Stadium. Bit of a bad pass there by Junior Antacum trying to find Sagno, but the ball is just over his head.
Kamloops, although a little bit on the cold side. When they kicked off tonight, it was 6 degrees, so it'll be a little chilly out there. Although once these players get into the game, they probably won't even notice it. But I noticed again all of the crowd at Hillside are wearing winter coats and scarves and gloves, and I guess we are about to see winter come up once.
Yeah,
Hey guys, you're wolves hungry for pizza. Warm up with pizza, Gildy's Pizza, located on the track.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can hear a bit of argument, a bit of protest, I should say, from the TRU bench, Coach Antelope. Being taken by the captain tonight, Jan Glassman.
Jan has been one of the, I think, most improved players on the TRU team, and one I think who's benefited tremendously from Coach Antelope's experience and mentorship. I think he's certainly one of the solid backline of the TRU, and has been really since he first started playing for the university.
Yeah, he's partnered up with one of the I would say one of the best defenders that TRU has had, Finley. So I think he can get a bit of 1-2 from him.
Yeah, I'm sure that was probably one of the best twosomes TRU has had in many years.
Yeah, reminded me of a Bonucci-Chiellini type of partnership.
Yes, yeah.
Here come the Cascades looking to apply pressure on TRU. The referee gets in the way of the pass by Izzet and calls a free kick to TRU, relieving a bit of pressure that the Cascades were piling up on. Here didn't look around the far left side, looking for a teammate, and opts to go back to his captain. There's Daniel Segno being pressured. Here by David Parfait. Daniel Sagno still with the ball.
Very well played, Jonathan. Very well played.
Very well played indeed. Here goes Dylan Hooper get the ball tangled in his feet a bit, but gets it back, and here goes Patrick Izek. Tries to go for the shot, but is well defended. And Lamont tries to go for the shot, but is deflected and out for a TRU corner.
Justin Wilson, Peter Sobolak, and Ha-Young Chung. And his athletics on this is very rapid.
TRU has taken the corner here, but it's once again clearly defended by Cascades. And Izet rather. I'll have to go back to Daniel Saginaw, who's the last man for TRU here. Here comes Dylan Hooper. Dylan Hooper still with the ball, tries to slide it there for, I believe, Marcus Navarro was it, but was unable to find him, and the ball goes out, or doesn't go out, ends up at the feet of Jackson Cox for Cascades here. TRU seems to be the more confident team as the game grows here at Hillside Stadium.
Definitely in the early stages, yes.
Cascades are not far behind though. They can.
No, it's a very close encounter, and as you suggested, it's pretty much end to end, which you expect probably later in the game. But both teams really, as I've said right from the start, are really looking to win this game. So the TRU team's not going to sit back on the fact it's in first place. They will want to win this just as much as UFE.
Here's Marco Favaro. You can see Dylan Hooper just raising his hand to notify him that he's free. And indeed, he does get the ball back from his captain. And here it is. And here goes Dylan Hooper again, gets past two players. Dylan Hooper puts the ball into the box, but it's just behind George Lamar. And TRU look to start again with Junior Adekum. Cascade, the player, got a foot in there, but was wonderfully. Was wonderfully picked back by TRU. Marco Favaro to Dylan Hooper, looks to take on his man.
Two's up.
Really
Two for the floor here.
Randy.
The other day, Alan Errington, former head coach, is actually doing the colour commentary for Cascades.
He's ready.
Now checked in for the University of Fraser Valley,
Goes the ball in.
number 24, Will
Bundy.
Bundy. Now checked out for the University of Fraser Valley, number 13, Charlie.
That just goes to show how brilliantly they're attacking the box of the Cascades.
He's up. He's ready.
Ball goes into the box just over the head of Rosalind. Shows the ball very well. Needs to get past his man. But unable to do that and drags his man back and is called for a foul.
Solid defending there by the left back for UFE, who in the process earned himself a free kick.
Thumbs up.
The ball is of Jackson Cox of Fraser Valley, goalkeeper for Fraser Valley.
Some of you may have noticed watching on TV, the numbers for the UFE team are extremely difficult to read. They're wearing sort of dark, almost black shirts, and the numbers on the back, as you can probably tell on some of the close-ups that our camera people are picking up, are also a very dark colour. And it's, obviously their equipment manager didn't particularly pay a lot of attention to that, otherwise he would have maybe put the numbers in white.
Yeah, it's kind of quite hard to read the numbers over here.
Thumbs up.
So forgive us if we don't get the player's name right over here.
Yeah, big two.
At all.
Yes, big two. Nice
Players
for one.
need 3 points tonight for sure.
So a little run scoring up there.
And I can guarantee you that TRU is going to make it a difficult task for him here this evening. Just last week, Keith, we were talking about how the modern game has evolved and how teams opt to play from the back. Do you think that sometimes it just slows the game down when you want to kind of get the ball on the pitch quickly?
From a spectator point of view, yes it does. But I think statistically, trying to keep possession of the ball, even from your defending third, is a much better way of trying to progress down the field and to a defender or an attacker has interceded and gotten a shot on goal and so on. So you really have to be very careful. The goalkeepers these days are under enough pressure as it is.
Exactly. Now you just heard there, Marco Favaro received a yellow card from a previous tackle. That's the first TRU player of the evening on a yellow card. As we go all the way back to Sidhu here, who goes all the way back to his keeper Jackson Cox.
Who's that?
Tobias Spees goes back to his keeper. Brilliant formation here, brilliant shape here by TRU now. Letting one player just get past them over here.
Well, just to demonstrate how close these teams are, it's 33 minutes in, 34 minutes in now, and we haven't really seen one good quality shot on goal. And again, perhaps tribute to the defending players of both teams.
Yeah, like we mentioned, it's end-to-end action here. It's more of a midfield.
No one that would like to acknowledge Aero Industries, Toronto Enterprises, and the Ronaldi Investment Group.
And BMO newspapers for their incredible support.
Well, there's a call for a penalty to make a good quick tackle.
Anthony Vega and Tobias Spees standing over the ball. And his Spees just deflects off the wall and out for a cascade corner.
It dropped any closer to the goal. He might have been unsuccessful in trying to keep it out.
Guard looked at the guard, was wrong-footed over there. That was going towards his top right, but took a heavy deflection. And a chance there for the
Number 5.
Who's
Ashley puts it in.
Tricky ball. Well done by Gardner.
I believe the referee called a foul either way on that play.
Again, insofar as TRU's success so far this season, I think a lot of that has to be credited to Gardner. I mean, he's only let in less than a handful of goals this year, and really can't think of any that I would call off the top of my head where he's been responsible for any of it.
Fraser Valley at number 19.
It's a free kick here
Angel Ferrar.
TRU, Marco Favaro looking to deliver a delicious ball in, which he does. And the ball goes off, I believe, George Lamont, but it wasn't strong enough to test the keeper.
It was from the Lamar guy, the number
Of the Cascades,
19.
Jackson Cox.
But then we saw another reason why sometimes playing the ball out from the back isn't such a good idea, because it actually does slow the game down too. So if the forwards, let's say for UFP, were downfield and all of the TRU midfield and forward were way upfield in the attacking third, then if the goalkeeper was to play it out drop kick it, it could sail over the midfield and get into the penalty box. We've seen that on a few games this year as well, where that's happened. And it's incredibly controlled by, let's say, the striker upfield. And he's managed to do something useful with it. I remember the former Whitecaps coach, Tony Waders, who I knew very well, was one to tell his goalkeepers, as soon as you get the ball, whack it downfield as hard as you can. And he'd tell his two strikers to stay up as far as they could, so they were still onside, and see if they could pick up loose balls that way and catch the defending midfielders too far up the field. And it worked quite often.
think that was a brilliant plan by the coach. And as you can see, Dylan people just try to do a bit of work down at the far left. The ball is with TRU again. It was them.
Well, Tony Waders was the last coach to take the team to the World Cup in 1986 in Mexico. And I don't know if some of our viewers are following the exploits of our current national men's team, but they played to a 1-1 draw with Mexico yesterday, I believe, and deservedly so. There's some very good talent on that team. John Herdman has gone and played some very good soccer. And Canada now sits in third place in their group. After 4 out of 14 games that they play in this group, each team playing 14 games, Canada in third place with 6 points. And the next game is Sunday away to Jamaica, and that's going to be at 3 o'clock Pacific time at the National Stadium, Independence Park in Jamaica. And then next Wednesday, Canada takes on Panama at BMO Field in Toronto, and that's a 4:30 Pacific time kickoff. The top three teams out of 8 teams in the group qualify for the World Cup. So again, a lot of confidence in Herdman, and certainly have seen some great play by the current national team players who are on that squad, and I'd have to say have a very, very good chance of being in that World Cup this time for the first time in an awful long time.
Yeah, I have great confidence in this Canadian team as they're playing some great football with some young talent, and I hope that they reach the World Cup for the first time in a very long time, like you said.
Well, we've only a few minutes to go now in the first half, and before you ask me to summarise, I will chip in with a comment that I think, you know what, it has been a pretty even half, but it's certainly been devoid of any real quality chances by either team, and I'm sure as legs tire perhaps somewhere around the midpoint of the second half, the game may open up a little bit and we might see odd clear shot on goal, but we actually saw that in the the Trinity Western games, where I think in the second half things started to open, and I can think of James's winning goal in the 94th minute of 94 minutes played, when he got a free header, really free header, right inside the 6-yard box without a defender within 6 yards of him. So it's not legs being tired, it's the mental side of the game that lets you down. So see what happens.
Pretty even match game here in the first half. 2 minutes plus whatever additional time is going to be added on here. Chance of Let's Go Wolfpack from the fans here at Hillside Stadium.
But they do chip in infrequently, don't they?
Yeah.
It's probably so cold they don't want to get their hands out and clap and applaud. And
Well, hey, it worked last week, and they were able to get a goal.
they were, and you know, we're about to see another 45 minutes to play when both teams will have a chance to do that. And, let's see what happens.
Here goes Dylan Cooper here. Tries to play in George Lamar, but it looked as if the ball was just a tad behind him, and he miskicks it and ends up in the gloves of Jackson Cross.
Yeah, an easy one for Jackson. He was not threatened at all, and did well to distribute the ball and get it back downfield, as you can see.
There will be a minimum of 4 minutes added time.
Actually, just heard from the PA, it's just 4 minutes of added time. Controlled by Daniel Sagno back to his teammate. Patches over here, who finds Isaac, who does brilliantly to get past his marker.
What a superb player,
Yeah.
pass cross field, and again trying to open the field up a little bit, switch play, perhaps change the tempo a little bit. Fantastic ball.
And the referee pulls the game back.
You like to see in matches that you don't see often enough.
A free kick to the Cascades. And it's brilliantly dealt with by Jackson Gardner, who looks to push his team forward, trying to get something going, but it's held out.
As we've said already, safe hands, Gardner gets. And again, exhibits some excellent goalkeeper skills.
John, I'm just curious, what do you think the attendance is? On the 20? Okay, thank you very much.
Roseland just throws the ball out of bounds over there.
You can see the substitute bench there for UFE with all the players with tubes on and keeping warm with some thick jackets and track pants and so on. It is a little nippy out there.
Yeah, they're all kind of huddled together. Bit of a protest there from the TRU bench and the fans in the bleachers, but then again, here's Dylan Hooper. Back to the Lamar looks for. Is it? Or Mix kicks it, but Is it gets the ball back. A brilliant turn. Oh my! Patrick Is it here with a shot and just sails over the crossbar.
Fabulous turn, great control.
Great awareness of what's going on around him, and that was a fantastic play there by Patrick Is it.
He certainly was a great all-star player. He was Papadinus. I was a big fan of his. And I thought he was kind of loved, to be honest with his teammates on a number of TRU teams he played on.
Really great. I guess we loved watching, especially when he was on the ball. So composed.
And quite often a match winner. He certainly had a good eye for goal too.
Yeah. Played a big part in TRU coming third, the 2017 playoffs here at Hillside Stadium, which again will be played here in 2022.
He will, and we're all looking forward to it. It's one of the three, I believe, my notes here, one of the three weather issues or anything that might interfere with those breaks.
Michael Favaro with a free kick over here. Brilliantly funded by the Cascade Wall, and that, ladies and gentlemen,
100 people here, maybe closer to 250. I think I can't see the end of those stands, but a good crowd on hand here at Hillside Stadium in Kamloops.
and a goal will really lift the spirits here for both teams. And I guess that's just the one missing ingredient that we need in this game. Because it's been 50-50, like I mentioned. And all that's missing is that one goal. Who will break the deadlock first?
I'd like to think, and it may be a wish and a prayer, but
Halftime substitution for the University of Fraser Valley, now subbed in, number 17, Jessica Sodi. Now subbed out for the University of Fraser Valley, number 5, Anthony Vega.
really close matches like this.
Now subbed in for the University of Fraser Valley at the half, number 8, Taylor Richardson. And subbed out, number 10, Nikhil Reddy. Now subbed in for your TRU Wolfpack at the half, number 17, Denzel Medican. And subbed out for the TRU Wolfpack, number 22, Ryan Lewis.
Playing somewhat of a 4-2, which again counterbalances the two teams, and we really do need to see someone take charge, someone who's going to make an impact on this game. I don't know whether it's creating a chance or finishing a chance, or somebody needs to grab this game by the scruff of the neck.
I agree with you completely there, Keith. Brilliant work there. Corner to be taken by David Parfait.
Who's ready?
And brilliantly caught there by TRU's number 1, Jackson Gardner.
Nice clean hands, nice catch, and they'll safely distributed as well.
That's the second time I believe Jackson Gardner was able to catch the ball from the corner. This goes to show the confidence he has in himself when his opponent takes the corner. Able to come on, doesn't catch the ball comfortably.
I noticed at half time he was out here substitutes and he must have bags of energy. Mind you, as a goalkeeper, you've always got energy in reserve.
Exactly.
Again, a referee today is Todd Wiseman, a gentleman who's a very experienced referee and one who does a lot of these games at this level, and so far has handled the game very, very well.
Here comes TRU with Marco Favaro. Finds Patrick Izzet, who was pressured from behind, but able to release the ball. Here comes Dylan Hooper, gets past his marker. Dylan Hooper puts the ball in the box. And the ball is hit by Marco Favaro, but I believe he miskicked it and hit his teammate George Lamar, who was unable to pounce on the rebound.
Great run by Hooper down the left side there, gave himself enough time and enough room to get across in. Unfortunately to no avail, but
a nightmare here on the left-hand side of the field here. Sorry. He's been a nightmare for Ryan Donaldson down here on the flank. I apologize for that mistake.
he reminds me of that old saying, give a man a yard and he'll take a mile, and he certainly, once he gets the ball at his feet, he's on his way.
That's what you expect from Dylan Hooper then. Here, George Lamar, referee calls back for a foul because ball is played by Etches, and Jan Pierre is being pressured here by Troy, but does brilliantly to recover the captain here, Jan Pierre. The ball is with Dylan Hooper going back to his own half, and see how you have possession of the ball.
Well done, Jan. Very solid one.
It looked as if Troy there was going to win the ball, but Jan did brilliantly to recover. There's Patrick Izzet. Down the right hand flank, I believe it's American, who wins the corner for TRU.
Just slightly.
Yeah, sometimes it gets like that. Put enough pressure on the referee, and maybe, just maybe, you play in your favor.
Again, one of former coach Tony Wader's old tricks. He used to tell his players, you feel for everything. Whether you're right or wrong, you never know. Sometimes they might
There
get.
was a call that was it was a game between Man United and I believe Newcastle, and there was a call that was supposed to be for Newcastle, but back then the captain for Man United, Roy Keane, put so much pressure on him. I think he was scared and put the call in favor of Man United. So that just goes to show, put enough pressure on the ref, and maybe you'll get the call in your favor.
For sure, even the top world-class FIFA referees can get swayed on the odd occasion. Howard Webb, of course, now is the man in charge of all the referees and officiating in the MLS.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yeah. He just got married to his long-time girlfriend, who I believe is also a FIFA referee, and I think she's German, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, congrats to him. Here's American. Want to put the ball in the box, but it's deflected and ends up in the glove. Number 25 goalkeeper, or number 1 goalkeeper this evening for Cascade number 25, Jackson Cox.
Well, it is a fresh 7 degrees at the moment at Hillside Stadium, and I think back to my playing days when you were in this kind of temperature, you'd come off at half time, go and sit in that nice warm dressing room, and then somebody would yell at you for getting out in the field, and you'd go, oh no! leave the warmth of that beautiful dressing room and come out here and freeze your crown jewels off.
Here goes Patrick Izzet advancing. Patrick Izzet with a shot, but looking a bit off balance, and the shot just goes wide of the.
Team and attacking third, and really some quality gilt-edged chances for the attacking players of both teams.
TRU with the ball here. Fagaro plays it to his midfield partner there, Junior Antikum. But the ball is played just a bit too deep by Etches and ends up in the gloves of Patrick Cox.
Well, I think, I don't want to second guess Coach Antala, but I think probably in the next 5 or 6 minutes you'll maybe start to see a few substitutions coming in, just to see if they can bring fresh legs and a little bit of inspiration, drive to the game. But maybe the current squad aren't demonstrating at the present time. We'll have to wait and see that. I think certainly if I was the coach now, I would be looking to my bench to stir things up a little.
And knowing Coach Antelope, he'll probably want a bit of energy in the midfield over there. Probably bring on Jonathan Ronaldo, as you know.
I think this would be a good game for Ronaldo to get to come in and start to create a little. He seems to be a young lad that's got lots of energy and really gets around the field a lot, and needs to be a little bit more circumspect in his passing and his choice of passes. But and he plays a simple ball very well. You know, sometimes that's a good thing because. Really good creative players, sometimes you have to really work on them to keep the ball simple. They're always trying to do the difficult thing and they end up losing the ball, or they dribble the ball one too many, and the ball gets away from them. So it's always nice to have a player who can get around the field, play nice one-touch passes to his teammates, and when he gets the opportunity, create a chance for one of the strikers.
Wonderful touch by American there to Junior Antikum, who finds his teammate Daniel Segno. He finds Denzel American, but is unable to control and is cleared away by the Cascades. Segno to Antikum over there in the middle of the park, who finds Rosalind. But is wonderfully anticipated by the number 21 there for the Cascades, I believe, Mikhail Melina. Mela, I apologize. Here goes TRU with Raymond Segno, turns to American. American puts the ball in, but it's rather a weak ball to find one of his teammates and ends up in the gloves of the keeper.
For those youngsters looking in that might be watching us this evening, I must say, one of the biggest attributes you can have as a player is your first touch. And generally speaking, the first touch of most of the players in these two squads is pretty good. I'd say very good. But it is one of the fundamentals that is an outfield player really need to develop and polish, and you'll find that if you've got your first touch right, so much of the rest of the game becomes much easier.
TRU are in possession of the ball here. Looking to slow the tempo down just a little bit, get a bit of possession. Or soccer, as it's probably North America. Wonderful spray there by Izzet, but it's intercepted by Ryan Donald. Junior Antikum uses his body well. Ooh, and a slip there by Patrick Izzet.
Well, I think we'll blame that on the artificial play.
Yeah.
Sometimes that ball does hold up. I don't know which balls TRU are using as a game ball, but they seem to bounce well and roll well on this astroturf. Sometimes you get some manufacturers' balls that are not suited to this surface, and you'll see situations like happen there with the CMOs over there.
Giving Hooper with a try. And an excellent save to match that shot by Jackson Cox.
Love players to use space to their advantage and get those shots away, even if it happens to be
Fraser Valley, you said?
Yeah, keeper saw that.
I don't know how that head off of
But even those kinds of saves you have to be careful about, because speaking of balls these days are so light, they move in the air, and I've seen
Now
shots
subbed in for the University of Fraser Valley,
literally
number 19, Mantel Rar. Now subbed out for the University of Fraser Valley, number 24, Will Bundy.
Two's up, for one. Three.
Marco Favaro loses the ball here in the midfield. Here come the Cascades. Puts in the cross. Wonderfully defended by Captain Jan Pierres Glasman.
Well, there's a few found, their teammates in the goal area, which is tantamount to being necessary, especially in games like this, because they'll have a great chance of scoring.
Brilliant touch and brilliant feet there by Daniel Segno.
Probably around now, but in a game like this, a coach might want to bring in a few subs and try and affect the game.
He's ready.
Halfway puts it in. Won by Cascade, but brilliant defended by TRU. Brilliant defended by TRU again. Wonderful sliding challenge there by Denzel American, the number 17.
Go.
I wonder if my son, who played for UFV for 5 years during his university career, is kind of watching this.
I'm pretty sure
And
he is.
I wonder what he's thinking. He was fortunate enough to play on one of the strongest UFV teams that I've seen in my time in British Columbia. And most of those players are still playing for the Abbotsford United Premier team. Good bunch of guys, some good players on that team. All of whom pretty much came through the UFV profession. And as Coach Tom from UFV said to me before the game, likely as not, they're going to get a whole bunch more players showing up for that team, because quite a few graduating players this year from UFV.
Foul there in midfield by Junior Adekun.
Been a very, very useful defender for TRU, and I like his captaincy. I think a very, very tough, smart player, and he's done well tonight. But really, I'm being quite serious when I say I'm still looking for that player that's going to.
Yeah, we need some fresh legs in this game. Everybody is looking a bit tired here at Hillside Stadium. Like we said, the mental part of the game is starting to kick in. Almost 5 minutes to hit 70 minutes. And I think the mental part of the game for both teams is starting to kick in, because
Well, we've still got 25 minutes to play, plus lots of time to see something happen here, and perhaps put the game in favour of one of these two teams. And if suspect that if we can get one goal here, then we'll probably see a few.
I think if we get that one goal, I think they're gonna just, whichever team gets it, they're probably just gonna sit back and kind of try to manage the game and frustrate their opponent.
That's right. Just take advantage of the counter-attacks and any sloppiness or equalise.
George Lamont with the ball, bit of skill there. Tries to find Rosalind, but he didn't read the memo. And it's out for a TRU throw.
3-ish minutes to go. Good job so far. Hopefully we'll get a little action here.
Brilliant midfield play there by Favaro and Ajakum, and Favaro with a quick feet, but Cascade player was able to get his footing there and deflect it back to his team.
Just a little scrappy the last 5-10 minutes. It's there's no cohesion. We're looking for consecutive passes and keeping possession and looking for that little outlet pass that's opening things up a little bit.
I think this is where the tired legs start to come in key. And there's an example of one of the tired feet. Misplaced pass there by Carol Rosen. Again, see how you have the ball here with Junior Ajakum in the midfield. Gives it to his midfield partner, Favaro, who gives it to his captain, Glassmacher. Extras. TRU just kind of playing a bit of a patient possession of play, looking for that opening. And here's George Lamont tries to feed Denzel American, but the ball is just short and it's intercepted by a Cascade defender. Jackson Cox tries to clear, but it's rather a poor clearance. Finds the feet of Denzel American, who draws a foul, and it's a free kick on this. It looks like this is going to leave it for Marco Favaro rather. And he's going to join his teammates in the box. Favaro with a long free kick, and it just sails over the head of everybody. It's cleared away by Cascade, and it's a throw-in for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, again a bit long, unfortunately, and a bit deep. Sometimes you get away with it if there's a player on the far post that can nod it back in towards either the goal or into the middle of the 6-yard box for somebody to head in or run onto. But I'm curious why they wouldn't let Izzet take that, because his percentage of excellent crosses is very high. I think turned out at least one white cap in the early days of the white caps and several All-Star, BC All-Star players. I remember Sergio was in that time. I'm not sure if they
Yellow card.
Did he give you any trouble?
Yes. Just coincidentally, I was playing up front the other way, so I didn't come in contact with him a lot, but when it was my turn to chase him back or he had possession of the ball, you give up hope. He just left-footed his on the court, and he quite often played the right way.
Great.
Brilliant covering by the captain, Jan Glassmacher. Cassie players are protesting for a free kick, but the referee says no. And a brilliant touch there by George Lamont, but he's unable to find a teammate. Denzel American.
Still no subs for either team, so they're maybe going to let these boys play it out for the duration of the game. 18 minutes to play plus injury time or stoppage time. So after the 2 games travelling all the way up to Prince George on the 23rd and 24th. The men will be playing on Saturday the 23rd at 2:15 in Prince George, and the same time again on Sunday. And that will certainly, I think, cement a playoff position for TRU if it doesn't happen this weekend. But and I deservedly so. Of all the teams I've seen in the league, I would say TRU are very deserving of making what will be the quarterfinals. And the quarterfinals of Canada West are being played on Friday the 29th of October. Teams that advance from that into the Canada West Final Four will be playing on November the 5th, which is also Friday. And then, of course, the national championships will be in Ottawa, Carleton, on November the start.
Stay with them.
Oh, what a try. Great try by Hooper.
Brilliant touch, brilliant ball by Fox.
He deserves one, quite frankly, and he's played the last 2 or 3 matches. And again, just unfortunate that I wasn't maybe 2 or 3 inches below that, and if it had hit the crossbar, it might have gone underneath and in. But that could have been the goal that would go things only.
See that chance, the game looks like a 0-0 written all over it. There's Cascade with the free kick. Looking long. But dealt by Rosalind, and it's throw-in for the Cascades. Cascades looking for a long throw-in there. And it's a goal by the Fraser.
This game pick up a little bit. And again, I see that John Attalon has got some players running up. I would expect, I really would expect that the Eagles will some fresh leg coming up. And we'll see what happens. But well done UFE. Good shot, clean shot, out of the reach of Gardner. That was a credit to UFE.
Tonight, third of the year, scored by number 8, Taylor Richardson.
1-0 lead.
The assist to number 4, Tobias Spice. Coming to goal, 75th minute. That's Richardson's first of the night, third of the year. The assist to Spice in the 75th minute.
The referee called for
And high definition production of these games at this level is excellent.
foul in favor to Crack. Here's the kind of a dilemma, I would say, Keith, of whether to play it long or to kind of play from the back to keep possession of the ball.
Well, that's going to have to start happening soon. They are going to have to play a little bit longer. And if you look at that pass, there's a good example. Literally, the ball being crossed over the heads of everything in midfield. Gaps starting to open up as players get a little tired, get caught upfield, and it will create a little bit more space, and a little bit more time on the ball for the players who are in possession.
And you can hear a bit of protest from the bench over there. I believe from the Cascades fans here at Hillside Stadium.
Alright, that's Fraser Valley 9, 8, 10,
Nice flick on.
There's DM Hooper.
There you go.
Home goal!
Remember, just finding it necessary to oversee the substitution.
I believe it's
That's a bid for the University of Fraser Valley, Sahil Dimsha. Now subbed out for the University of Fraser Valley, number 8, Taylor Richardson. Now subbed in for the University of the Fraser Valley, kill ready.
Is it bubbled
Now
over?
subbed out for
By number
University of
6.
Fraser.
That's Fogaro took it last night. You see the run of Daniel segment just outside of him. And this is it that takes it. It's flipped on by George Lamar.
For a goal kick.
Exactly.
Your Wolfpack goal! His first of the night, second of the year, scored by number 7, Dylan Hooper. Time of the goal, 77th minute. That's Hooper's first of the night, second of the year in the 77th minute.
2 and 1. One's up.
And you can just hear the coach of the Fraser Valley Cascade shouting at his men to focus, I believe. And a rather strong challenge there.
Nice.
Here's Etches, Johnson, looking for a teammate.
One's up.
Ball is delivered in the box.
Nice goal.
Brilliant defending yet again. Here's Troy with the ball. Looks for his teammate, but wonderfully and comfortably handled by Etches.
Again, well defended. The TRE defender not allowing the UFE attacker to get the ball off him and just played it safe by shielding the ball and letting it go for a goal kick.
Here's Marco Favaro.
Favaro's had a pretty good game this season as well. I think again covers a lot of ground. Passing is reasonable and has taken the over free kick, which is taken it quickly, which I like to see quite often too, because we catch defences.
It's a free kick to the Cascades here. Puts it in. And again, strong hand by Jackson Gardner there.
Well played, got that for it. Sometimes those can be difficult in a crowd. You might lose sight of it if you're expecting maybe a challenge from an attacker or even sometimes a defender. He's very confident. Once again, the fans who are at Hillside have come alive and making a moving noise, I think, in support of the home team.
Wonderful play by Sagno there. Wonderful play by TRU here. There goes Raymond Sagno. Puts the ball in the box. Ooh.
Tricky for the goalkeeper there. That's again a great run down the right side there.
Brilliant piece of one-touch play there by TRU.
One's up. 2, take a little wide on you, but you're going to stay double.
But as we know from the last game, anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
In the last few minutes.
One's up.
Here come the Cascades. With a bit of room here in the midfield. And great defending there by Jan Glassmacher, the captain of the TRU.
The one up there, I believe it should be, yeah, 19.
One's up.
TRU takes the free kick. That's it with a bit of pressure.
Sure, please keep an eye.
Win the ball. Wonderful play by Ezzy, just between two Cascade players as they receive the ball back for George Lamar.
Well, that's unfortunate because that looked like it was going to be a nice combination play that might end up in the scoring up.
Now subbed in for the University of Fraser Valley, Hardy. Now subbed out for the University of Fraser Valley,
takes on his man.
June
I
Won
think so. I
Choi.
think it's even. Etches looks taking a tumble there, trying to reach the ball. Etches once again putting in a brilliant shift for the Wolfpack in here. Midfield, here comes Denzel Mary with that speed off his down the flank and brilliantly defended. While the number 7.
Very few substitutions, and there's been no major injury delays. Don't think we've seen a train on the field all day long. I don't expect there to be more than a couple of minutes, maybe 3 minutes of extra time to allow for those stoppages.
Yeah, Coach Angelo.
What are we looking at?
Looking at players and making a substitution. He's probably happy with what he's seen from the players on the field here. You would have expected Jonathan Ronaldo to come and replace one of the midfielders, but Coach Ancelot seems to be happy, so the game goes on.
Well, he's obviously right because his team is in the game, and it's been a steady performance by Team U. I don't say the same for UFV, but I wouldn't call it outstanding by any stretch of the imagination. I think we've been spoiled a little bit with those 2 games against Trinity Western, which were the 2 teams are battling it out for first place, or were battling it out for first place.
One's up, he's ready.
Headed there by Michael Fugaro. A bit of a mix-up there between Segno and Etches. A shot there by Cascade player, I couldn't quite see who it was. I believe the number 7, Harman Minhas, if I'm not mistaken.
Number 9. Well, this result is going to be worst for UFV. I think they're going to be very disappointed they haven't taken 3 points from this match. They'll certainly be out to get a win tomorrow. I think even with this result, they may have really nixed their chances of getting into the quarterfinals. As soon as I get my pocket calculator out, maybe figure that out. But yeah, I don't think Coach June will be thrilled with a tied result.
Throwing for the Wolfpack here.
I would say he's going to be in the running for man of the match. I think probably Cooper is another one, particularly with the efforts on the tie and goal, and for his